What happens when a comedian known for sharp political humor sits down with America's favorite daytime host and the whole conversation suddenly swerves into territory nobody expected? Well, you're about to see, because Randy Rainbow just had one of the wildest interview blow-ups daytime TV has ever witnessed. Before we dive into this full-on disaster, make sure you're subscribed and drop a comment, because this story is going to leave you stunned. So there's Randy Rainbow sitting across from Kelly Clarkson on her bright, lively set. Everything starts off friendly enough, with Kelly's warm smile shining and Randy's dramatic charm in full force. Kelly begins with what sounds like harmless small talk. "Randy, your political parodies have become such a huge hit, but I have to ask, don't you ever worry about pushing things a bit too far with some of your jokes?" Randy shifts a little in his seat, raising his eyebrows. "Too far, Kelly? We're living in a moment where reality itself has already gone too far. I'm just reflecting the madness back at people. But some folks might say your videos sometimes cross boundaries, especially when you go after certain politicians pretty harshly." Randy's smile starts to fade. "Cross boundaries, Kelly? Comedy has always been about stretching limits. That's literally what it has always done. Are we seriously doing this right now?" Kelly leans forward, her voice taking on a more serious tone. "I'm only saying that maybe there's some responsibility that comes with having such a big platform. Some of your content can feel pretty polarizing." "Polarizing?" Randy's voice grows sharper. "Kelly, pointing out corruption and foolishness isn't polarizing. It's necessary. And are you really going to sit there and lecture me about responsibility? You're hosting a show that runs celebrity gossip and consumer fluff." The audience starts murmuring quietly as the energy tightens. Kelly's smile becomes tighter. "I think you're misunderstanding what I'm trying to say, Randy." "No, I get it. I get it perfectly. You brought me here to talk about my work. And now you're trying to shame me for doing the very thing that made me successful." This is classic mainstream media stuff. Kelly's tone turns a touch defensive. "Randy, I'm not trying to shame you. I'm asking real questions I think the viewers would want answered." "Your viewers or your network execs, Kelly? Because those aren't always the same. And we both know that." The tension grows thicker. Kelly tries to steady the moment. "Look, Randy, I admire your work. I really do. But don't you think there's value in finding some common ground instead of always going for the boldest angle?" Randy lets out a bitter laugh. "Common ground, Kelly, when one side is actively trying to tear down democracy and the other is being asked to compromise? That's not balance. That's enabling." That feels like a pretty extreme way to put it, doesn't it? Extreme? What's extreme is pretending both sides of every issue deserve equal respect when they obviously don't. What's extreme is sitting comfortably in a talk show chair telling people like me to mellow out while everything is falling apart. Kelly's control begins slipping. "Randy, I think you're being unfair. I'm trying to have a calm conversation." "Calm? You want calm? Fine. Let's calmly talk about how daytime TV has become this sanitized, corporate-friendly bubble where nobody can say anything honest because advertisers might get uncomfortable." The crowd goes silent, watching intently. Kelly tries to pivot. "Maybe we should move on to your upcoming projects." "Oh, now we're moving on? How convenient. You drag me through this whole grilling about responsibility, and the second I push back, now you want to switch the topic." Kelly's face reddens slightly. "Randy, I wasn't grilling you. I was starting a discussion I thought would be interesting." "Interesting for who?" "Your producers who likely told you to question me about being too political, or your viewers who might actually want to hear something real for once." The camera catches Kelly inhaling deeply. "Randy, you're making assumptions that aren't accurate." "Am I? Because from where I'm sitting, it feels like I walked into a trap dressed up as a friendly chat." "You already knew what kind of videos I make. So why are we pretending to be shocked that I have strong opinions?" The conversation is now way off track, with neither willing to step back. Kelly sits up straighter, visibly trying to take back control. "Randy, this is a misunderstanding. My questions come from honest curiosity, not judgment." "Honest curiosity?" Randy's voice turns icy. "Kelly, Honest curiosity is asking me about my creative process. What drives me? What inspires me? Honest curiosity is not jumping straight into whether I'm too harsh on politicians who are hurting people. But surely you must understand that when you have a huge audience, people will wonder about the effect your message has. Effect. You want to talk about effect? Let's talk about the effect of normalizing dangerous behavior by treating it like just another political stance. Let's talk about the effect of watering down real issues so they're easier to swallow before lunchtime. Kelly's smile fully cracks. I don't think that's fair, Randy. We cover serious issues too. Do you? Or do you cover serious issues in the safest, slowest way possible so you can still call the show socially aware without actually challenging anyone? People in the audience shift uncomfortably. Randy, you're twisting what we do. Am I? Kelly, when was the last time you asked a guest something that really made them sweat? When was the last time a conversation here wasn't wrapped in bubble wrap? Kelly's tone hardens. I ask tough questions when needed. Needed by who? Your legal team? Your network bosses? Your advertisers? Because none of them care about what's needed for the moment we're living in. Randy, that's unfair. You don't know how I run the show or what happens behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, Kelly. That's the whole issue. The real conversations are always behind the scenes, while the audience gets handed this polished, sugary version of everything. Kelly breathes out slowly, trying again to settle her voice. Look, Randy, I respect your passion, but attacking me personally isn't going to help. I'm not attacking you as a person, Kelly. I'm criticizing a system you're part of. There's a difference. But you're sitting on my show calling everything I do pointless corporate noise. I'm saying daytime TV avoids real conversations. If your show fits that description, maybe that's worth thinking about. The tension is suffocating now. A producer is waving desperately from behind the cameras. Randy, I invited you because I think you're funny and talented, not so I could be lectured about media. And I showed up because I thought maybe someone in mainstream media wanted to talk honestly about why comedy matters in dark times. Apparently not. Kelly looks frustrated. Randy, you're assuming the worst about my intentions. Then prove me wrong. Ask me something real. Ask why I think humor is one of the last tools we have to fight rising authoritarianism. Instead of asking me to defend my tone, authoritarianism. Don't you think that's a pretty dramatic word? Randy's eyes widen. And there it is. You think the word is dramatic, but not the behavior it describes. That's exactly the problem. I'm not blind to anything, Randy. I just think we should be careful with heated language. Heated language? What's heated is pretending calling out danger is somehow worse than the danger itself. What's heated is scolding people who are trying to warn the world. The audience is frozen, barely blinking. Randy, you're being unfair to me and to the people watching. Are they really being challenged though? Caring about issues isn't the same as addressing them. Caring is easy. Taking risks is hard. Kelly's face tightens further. So now you're calling everyone in media cowards? I'm saying the system makes courage almost impossible. And yes, that includes this show. Kelly stares at him. So you're saying this conversation doesn't matter because it's happening here? I'm saying the setup prevents it from becoming something meaningful. We're acting out authenticity instead of actually being authentic. Acting out authenticity? Kelly snaps. Randy, I'm being honest with you right now. Are you though? Because genuine Kelly probably has strong opinions about the state of the world. But talk show Kelly has to stay neutral and safe. Which one am I talking to? The air thickens. Kelly's jaw tightens. You want honesty? Fine. I think you're being incredibly arrogant. You came here and immediately trashed everything about my show without knowing anything about what I believe. There it is. Finally some truth. So tell me, Kelly, what do you actually believe? Not what your network prefers. What do you believe? Kelly hesitates. The moment stretches. I think the world is complicated, Randy. Black and white thinking may work for comedy, but not for fixing anything. Complicated? Some things aren't complicated. Someone trying to undo an election isn't complicated. Kids in cages isn't complicated. Constant lying isn't complicated. But Randy, Isn't that kind of rigid thinking part of what's dividing us? Randy looks stunned. You think the problem is people like me being too harsh on obvious wrongdoing? You think the fix is to be more understanding of cruelty? I think the fix is trying to bring people together. Bring people together? You can't unite with people who want to take away others' rights. This isn't a debate over tax rates. It's a debate over humanity. Kelly raises her voice. And that mindset is exactly why conversations fall apart. Conversations? What conversation can you have with someone who thinks certain people don't deserve rights? Please explain that. It means trying to see where they're coming from instead of calling them evil. Randy looks like he can't believe his ears. Understand where they're coming from? Kelly, I know exactly where they're coming from. Fear, hate, ignorance. Knowing that doesn't mean I need to respect it. But doesn't your attitude continue the division? Division continues when people pretend hatred and love are equally valid. Division continues with false balance. The crowd sits stiffly, unsure how to react. Randy, I'm not arguing for moral relativism. I'm arguing for basic kindness. Kindness means standing up to bullies, not comforting them. Kindness means protecting the vulnerable, not negotiating with their oppressors. Kelly's patience snaps. Randy, you're twisting everything I say. Am I? Because it sounds like you're more worried about offending bad actors than protecting their targets. That's not what I said. Then what did you say, Kelly? Because it sounds like you want me to tone things down to avoid hurting feelings. I'm saying maybe your method isn't as effective as you think. Randy's eyes flash. Effective? My work has reached millions. It helps people cope with chaos. What has your approach done besides keeping people comfortable? My approach brings joy during difficult times. Joy and denial aren't the same thing, Kelly. Positivity and avoidance aren't the same. Kelly stands suddenly, her voice rising. Randy, you need to check yourself. You're being disrespectful to me, my show, and my viewers. Randy stands too, matching her intensity. Disrespectful? The lights feel hotter as they stare each other down. Kelly fires back. You don't even know what I believe. You're judging me after 10 minutes. I'm judging what I've heard. You've spent this whole time trying to make me apologize for having convictions. I didn't ask for an apology. I asked you to consider other paths to change. Randy throws his hands up. Change requires admitting what's wrong, not sugarcoating it. And you think mocking people will help? Holding people accountable matters more than protecting feelings. Kelly's voice sharpens. Your truth isn't the only truth, Randy. When it's about basic human rights, yes, it is. Everything isn't just your viewpoint. The earth is round. Gravity exists. Overturning elections is wrong. These aren't opinions. But how you speak about them is a choice. And I choose urgency over pretending everything is fine. Kelly shakes her head. Nobody's pretending things are fine. But yelling doesn't fix anything. I'm not yelling. I'm using satire. If that feels like yelling, maybe ask yourself why. Because it's harsh. It pushes people away. Good. Some people should be pushed away. Not every idea deserves respect. Kelly snaps again. That kind of rigid thinking is dangerous. Dangerous? What's dangerous is giving megaphones to people who spread lies while scolding those who call them out. Kelly points at him. And what's dangerous is making people angrier instead of helping find answers. Answers? The answer is to stop pretending neutrality is noble when one side is tearing things apart. Randy, you're twisting everything. No, I'm repeating everything you've said. You're upset that I take sides. You're upset that I call out wrongdoing. Kelly's face goes red. I never said that. You did. You've been bothered by my tone the whole time. Kelly takes a shaky breath. I wanted a thoughtful talk about political comedy. No. You wanted me to admit I'm part of the problem so you could feel better about your part in the system. Kelly's voice cracks. You don't know anything about my values. I know what you project on screen. And that's what matters. You use your platform to keep things safe and easy. That's not fair. Randy starts picking up his things. You want unfair. Unfair is living in a country where comedians have to be the truth tellers because journalists won't and talk show hosts avoid anything real. Randy, Where are you going? I'm leaving. It's clear we live in different worlds, and I'm not pretending they're equally valid. Kelly's voice takes on a desperate tone. Randy, wait. We can fix this. Randy turns back. Build something constructive. Kelly, we don't even agree on the basics. How do we build anything? By listening and understanding different viewpoints. I listened, Kelly. I listened very clearly. You think I'm too angry, divisive, unwilling to compromise with people who cause harm. Message received. Randy, that's not what I mean. Then what do you mean? What do you actually think about what's happening in the world? Not the friendly talk show version, the real version. Kelly freezes. The question hangs between them. The cameras catch every second. Finally, she speaks, softly. I think we need to find ways to heal the divides in this country. Randy shakes his head slowly. That's not an answer, Kelly, that's a slogan. And the fact that you can't give me anything real proves everything I've been saying. With that, Randy walks toward the exit, leaving Kelly alone on her own stage as the stunned audience watches silently. The cameras keep rolling, catching every moment of the most dramatic walk-off daytime TV has ever seen. So there you have it. The explosive showdown no one expected. What do you think happened here? Was Randy right to challenge Kelly's approach, or did he take things too far? Share your thoughts below and make sure you subscribe for more stories like this.